What's up? It's your boy V Kush Beats, and we got the whole team here today of GTS Movement. Topic today is free advertising tips, how to get more artists to hear your beats. Everybody introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? Travis, T Customs Productions. Happy to get into this topic today. Happy to be here, and yeah, pass it over.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy KC with KC-Beats.com. It's a great day to be alive and be here.
Going on? It's Chrisio from mutualsounds.com. Really interested in this topic that we're going to be going through today. So hopefully you get some golden nuggets out of it.
Yes, sir. So today's topic is free advertising tips and how we get artists, or how to get more artists to hear your beats. So I guess first off, we're gonna talk about messaging and just actually talking to artists first. So, you guys want to start? Who wants to jump in? Let's get it.
Go ahead. I'll turn it over.
Go first. Want me to go first? As far as messaging goes, we use a certain strategy. We kind of go more in depth within the GTS movement group, but basically what it is we contact artists on Facebook and we send them a message. We make the message personal to them, pretty much asking them to friend us and just to start that engagement up. It's not really hard to do. A lot of people don't do it, which is why we do it. We get results doing it that way. If you guys want to go in and explain how you guys do it, but it's really not that hard. It's kind of simple.
Yeah, like you said, we have more training on it, but it's very highly targeted artists that we contact, and we don't necessarily. The main thing is we're not spamming them with links. We're not interrupting their day with anything that's not content and value packed. So that's just the key when you find the artist and you find out how to message them and how to do it, is just give them content, and more than likely if you do that, 90% of the time they're gonna go and check you out, and they're gonna go to your page, and if you got beats on there and you have other content, it's a free way to promote yourself and advertise yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I would say generally when I'm speaking to artists, I make it about them because people love to talk about themselves. So I might ask them if they've got a link to their music, for example. I'm really big on SoundCloud, for example, so I'll usually ask if they've got SoundCloud. They give me their link, I'll check out their stuff, but then I'll follow them as well. And most of the time, they will follow me back. And once they follow me, they're more likely, because I've checked out their stuff, I've commented on a few of their tracks, or I've just messaged them back and said, you've got some really good tracks. They will check out my stuff as well, and that's generally creating free traffic. But because you made it about them, they're more inclined to want to check out your stuff and basically return the favor. That's generally what I would do when I message artists.
Yeah, and like all the guys have said, we have a very specific and targeted way in which we do this. So if you still need help, because you have to be very careful in the way you just message somebody randomly. And so if there's not a systematic approach in which you do that, like Chris said, putting the other person first, really understanding what they need and what's going on with them. If you don't do that and you come across as a spammer, people can detect that right away. They can sense that you're just trying to get something out of them. So, like I said, we have a more in-depth of how we actually build those relationships and are able to get traffic to our site.
Basically, I mean, and that's really what it's about. It's just be genuine when you actually message people. I mean, don't go in there with the intentions of I'm going to try and talk to him to sell a beat. You know what I mean? This is where people I guess kind of get it messed up, is that you're not in this business to close a sale. You're in this to build a relationship. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to build relationships with as many people as you possibly can, and the more relationships you start, the more sales you're going to get. If you go in there with the intention, I'm trying to close, you're going to run into problems because you're going to come off thirsty, and people pick up on it extremely fast, and they don't deal with you after that. And anytime you post anything, it becomes a problem. They're gonna think every time you message them, you want something from them. The easiest way to, I guess, to get over that hurdle is when you message people and you started to build that relationship, ask them what they need help with. Don't message them like, come buy my beats. Ask them what they need help with and help them get that answer. And when you get that answer, you give them that answer, you automatically become a friend. The whole point is, what we say in a lot of videos is know, like, and trust. And that's how people buy. When they know you, they like you, and they trust you, they become customers. And if you get to know them through messaging, you help them with a problem, they like you and they trust you because you're the one person on Facebook or one person on Twitter or whoever who actually helped them with their career. And that's what's going to lead to you building that rapport and getting a sale. And it's not hard to do. It's extremely easy to do, and you can do it quick. I mean, I've messaged people on a Monday and gotten a sale on a Friday. So I mean, it's not that hard. It's just that most people don't do it. So.
And most people don't do it right. So again, if you need help if you don't know what you're doing and how to message people, then you need to know how to do that. There's a certain approach in which you need to take in order to not turn a bunch of people off. So like I said, if you need more help with how to message people, get inside. We've got the training there for you.
All right. I guess the next topic is email messaging and email lists. First and foremost, if you're online and you're selling beats and you're doing anything on and you don't have an email list, you're 10 years behind, to be honest with you. There's not a site you can go on right now that they don't take your email. I mean, to be honest with you can't go to Target and buy something without them asking for your email address. Like, that's how people communicate now. That's just how it is. I mean, you can go to Macy's today, ask them for your email address, and they'll send you a coupon to come back to Macy's before you get home. Like, email marketing is the way.
It's an asset. Your website can go down, you can lose it. That's not as big of an asset as your email list. Like, that's where your money is. If you learn how to do it correctly, you can basically print money.
We've done a training. We did a really comprehensive webinar on list building, and the money's in the list. It's permission marketing, guys. It's permission marketing. This is if you're not marketing, if interruption marketing is your only way to market, you're not reaching the people that you want to, or you're pissing off all the people that really don't want your product. So the email it's the permission. You get that grant of permission to then follow up with value, with whatever it is. But the email, like Chaz said, the email is a huge asset. If you're not building your list, go back and re-watch that webinar training to learn what you need to get set up and get started on that ASAP.
But as far as don't mean to cut you off. As far as free advertisement goes, say you have a nice list, and then you release a new beat, and you have a following that they gave you their permission to be on your list, and they're intrigued in your products and what you offer. If you have a nice list and you can send that out with the click of a button, and that's instant free promotion, instant advertisement on whatever you're selling.
Dude, when you have a list built, literally like Chaz said, a click of a button, and you can push traffic to your website.
Yep.
I mean, it's really that's the power in the list. When you've got something that you want the people to see on your list, click a button, type up the email, put a link to your blog post or to your website, click of a button, and you've got instant traffic going to your site. It's powerful.
And you didn't pay for it.
Exactly.
They asked you to market to them. Like, literally, that is what an email list is. It's somebody saying, can you please market to me?
Exactly. And again, it all comes down to building relationships. Because with emails, generally, it's not, people aren't going to necessarily buy something of you the first time you speak to them. But if you start to build that relationship with your email list, then it's only a matter of time once they, again, know, like, and trust you for them to come back. And that's how you start to build your returning customers.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Chaz. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, even Brian said, he talked to someone on Monday, and as fast as Friday. But the key thing that he said in there was build a rapport, build a relationship with them. If you learn anything about marketing, you're 90% of the time you're not going to sell to someone on the first time, not even the second time, not even the third time. So building a rapport, building a relationship is key, and you can do that through email marketing also.
And basically, they say that it takes between 7 and 10 emails for you to get a sale. Okay, and that's not you spamming somebody every day. Come buy my beat. It's you giving them some type of knowledge and some type of value for 4 or 5 days, and then a soft sale on the 6th or 7th day. It's not, and it's that simple. If you keep giving them content and tips and help, it's the law of reciprocity. You've given me so much over these last few emails. They feel like they owe you. That's just human nature. They feel like they owe you, and they want to pay you back. And the way that they pay you back is by you giving them that soft sell. Oh, I put up some new beats today. Not come check out my beats. You make an email. I made some new beats today. These sound like something that you might like. You don't know if they'll like them or not, but when you word it like that, they're more likely to click and go check them out. And if they like something, guess what? They feel like they owe you already, and they're more likely to buy.
So, some of you watching this might say, that's not advertising. These aren't ads. Like when you think of advertising, some people still think of traditional ads. Like they think of even like offline ads. You might think of newspaper, commercials, or even when you're talking about online ads, you might think of like a banner ad at the top of your website or a banner ad on the side. Like when you talk about advertising to a lot of people, that's their conception. That's advertising. Putting out sometimes doing like email blasts. But traditionally, when I say ad, you think of, you go on Facebook and you see these little ads on the right hand side, or you see these sponsored ads that are being circulated. That's what typically people think about. Now, one thing I want to transition into, if there's anything you guys want to talk about as far as email and what else did we talk about?
Messaging.
Messaging, email and messaging. If there's nothing else you guys want to add, I want to go ahead and transition into native advertising. Okay, because like I said, the mentality with a lot of folks is what ads are. Salesy ads, buy 2 get 1 free. It's very apparent what product's being promoted. But we're in an information age. We're in a new era with 2014 and social media, and native advertising is where it's at. Native advertising is so much more effective. It ties in with permission marketing, but really what native ads are ads that don't come across as ads. They just come across as posts, particular on Facebook. You may have seen these posts being circulated. Right now I'm looking at one by Quicken Loans. Now this is a brand. That this could possibly be an advertising, but the way in which they post it, it's native because it's more engaging with the picture, with the copy that they have. You may have seen other big companies, they post engaging videos. I was talking to the guys earlier about, I'll just give this example because there's a ton of other examples. If you follow any major companies in the way that they post, and this applies to any platform, let me go ahead and say with native advertising, right? Again, is an ad that doesn't come across as an ad. It's just an ad. It's just something that's engaging. So whether that's on Facebook, whether you're posting something on Twitter, whether it goes on another platform or other website, it's just something that blends in, because what happens is, I was actually reading an email from one of the marketers that I'm subscribed to that's one of the leaders in the industry, and he talks about the decline of the click-through rate, and specifically with banner ads and advertising, because marketers have pushed these so frequently over the years, and you still see them on blogs. I still have banner ads on my site, to be honest with you. I still make money off of them, but there's not as much money to be made off of those. And people don't pay attention to those like they used to. They're now becoming more background noise. It's like when you go to a blog and that they've got a sidebar on the right-hand side, that a lot of times that's just going to be advertised and they got things going on, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They've actually done studies where they've done like eye tracking studies. And people basically will neglect a whole right-hand side of a website if it even resembles like advertising. So that's where the importance of having native ads, that they're still pushing your brand, you're still pushing your product, but it's in a very casual way, and it's something that you can really draw people in. And you look at some of these ads. The ad I was going to mention it's a new Wendy's commercial that I just saw yesterday. It was being circulated on Facebook. and it was actually Boyz II Men. Apparently, they've done some other commercials like this, but the premise is they had a hashtag that they put out on Twitter, pretzel love songs. They're pushing this this new pretzel bun burger. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're pushing a new product, right? So what they did was they put out this hashtag, pretzel love songs, and they had consumers send in tweets using that hashtag. And then Boyz II Men, apparently they're promoting an album too, so it works for both. But as far as pushing Wendy's brand, what they've done is they turn this into a fast food ballad. So Boyz II Men, it's really kind of funny, and that's the whole idea. Is it's an ad that's pushing the brand, but at the same time it's entertaining and it's very casual, and so it becomes very shareable. So what they've done is they've taken these tweets from the consumers and they've turned it into like a love song. So Boyz II Men's kind of like crooning these tweets, and a lot of them don't really make sense with a love song, but it's funny, it's entertaining. And so what does that do? That leaves an impression on people. People comment, like, and share it on social media. It gets retweeted on Twitter. It's effective marketing. Native advertising is effective marketing. And so that's just one example. There are a ton of different ways. Really just comes down to getting creative with your posts and just understanding, like what we're talking about with messaging and building relationships, understanding human nature. We're on social media. It's not just to push an agenda and push a product. You have to engage people and really be social with people. And so that's what native advertising allows you to do. It allows you to draw people in without pushing a salesy ad at people.
And like one, I did it through beat making videos. I actually had an artist in mind, a local artist. I was like, man, this actually sounds like something that he would rap over, but I haven't talked to him in a while. So I made a beat making video and posted it, and I said what type of beat it was and everything. I wasn't trying to sell anybody, and how you word post is super important too. So you can say, check out my new beats. No one's gonna check out those beats. If you say it like, there's a long day. I had a long day in the studio. Check out this final product. That's gonna be a lot better than saying check out my beats. But I did promotion through a beat making video. I made a sale off of that beat making video because he liked the beat, but it was entertaining to them.
The thing with native posts is you need to. The point is to stand out. You want to be as creative as you possibly can when it comes to those things, because that's why you want to stand out. And if you're posting, come check out my beats like everybody else is, it's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? It's not going to work. You just got to be creative, and you'll get more engagement. That's what this is about. It's about getting engagement.
You know it's not going to work for you because you're probably doing it right now and it's not working.
Pretty much. We've all, and not to make, we've all done it. Okay, don't think that we've all did a check out my beats at some point in time for way too long until we realize, hey, this does not work. This is not working.
Exactly. Yeah, you just gotta, it's all about putting yourself in other people's shoes as well. Like, ask yourself if you see lots of links spammed on your site, or if you're constantly being tagged in photos or tagged in posts and things like that, how will it make you feel? Because most of the time, how it's going to make you feel is more than likely how it makes others feel. So you always need to think about how the other person is going to feel before you do stuff, because at the end of the day, that's what separates you from other people. You need to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing, and that's what makes you stand out. It's like if the whole crowd is going in one direction and you run the other direction, you're the one that's going to stand out because you're doing something different from the crowd.
Another thing is you may want to do is take notice to your own timeline and see what ads stick out to you. Like if you're looking through your timeline and something pops out at you, it's like, oh, what is that? Take note of that and see what they're doing in that ad that made you take notice, and apply that to what you're doing, because if you notice it, someone else can notice it also. And these are professional people. They do research and development where we don't have the money to do that. They actually have a team dedicated to saying, okay, this is what's going to make people look at it. And if you can just catch those small little things and apply them to what you're doing, you'll have more success also. Just use their knowledge to boost your own situation.
Exactly. That's where modeling comes in. It can save you a hell of a lot of money. You just model, but the problem is you got to make sure you're modeling the right people. You don't want to be honest with you, there's not a lot of people in the music community and selling beats that are doing it right. So you don't want to model what's going on there. You want to model marketers. You want to model people who are actually seeing success in certain areas. So that's something to be wary of when you model. Make sure that you're modeling the right ads, that you're modeling the right people. But like you said, the best thing to do is just go through your feed and what grabbed your attention right away. Was it a picture? Was it a copy? Was it a keyword or something? Was it a combination? Maybe a video enticed you? What was it? And think about it. Just literally let it marinate for a minute and think about it. What was it about this? And then you'll start to think a little bit. You're like, okay, maybe I can take a little piece of this copy. Okay, it's not exactly the same type of product or brand, but I can flip this and do something similar and test it out. Test it out. You know, if the last ads and things you've been running aren't working, it can only get better from there. So you might as well just study people who are actually getting the results, who are seeing the click-throughs, getting people to click, or whatever kind of engagement. You're going to see the posts that are getting engaged in, they're the ones that are going to continue to be circulating through. You're going to see they've been shared, 100,000 times or been shared so many times and have all these comments. People are engaged in that, and that's what you want.
Not like what I did was, and this is a tip. I mean, you may want to do this too if you guys are watching. Is when I used to follow big companies. So like the company I picked to follow the most was Coca-Cola. I follow Coca-Cola's page. I like their page, and I'll go on their page and see what they're posting and how they're posting, and they get an incredible amount of engagement. Obviously, it's Coca-Cola, but they don't post anything about come buy Coca-Cola. It's always something about the customers, pretty much 90% of the time. And the people who like Coca-Cola, they comment and share and things like that. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to see how they're posting, how many times a day they're posting, things like that is what's going to set you apart from everybody else.
And we're kind of talking specifically to Facebook, a lot of what we're saying right now, because it's such a big, it's one of the primary social media outlets, but this applies to all platforms.
Platforms.
Look at the viral tweets and Vine and look at brands, not just individuals that are getting viral stuff, but look at how brands are actually putting something out that's entertaining, but at the same time, their little logo or there's some way tied into what they offer, what service or product that they're offering, and it's not selling. It's just passive marketing. It's not. It could just be an impression. It's not that you're necessarily pushing a product. For instance, like in this case of the Wendy's, they're actually advertising a new burger, right? A new product, but it doesn't have to be. So, and you could put an ad up that's just pushing just an impression for your brand. So there's different ways to approach native ads, but again, I just want to reiterate, it applies everywhere. It applies to, there's other websites. I can't think. I'm studying some other marketers, and they talk about certain websites that are known for, they have certain posts, and then every like fifth post is a native ad, and it doesn't look like an ad. It just blends in with all the other posts, and that's what you want. That's really how you're going to get that engagement. If your ad looks salesy, people don't like to be sold. People do not like to be sold. If you're trying to sell people on stuff, it's not going to work out.
The point is social media. You're on here to be social. Like you want to have something that's engaging because that's what they want. They want people to interact with your posts, be it Twitter, Instagram. I don't care what it is. I know personally, like recently, I've been posting beat snippets on Instagram. Like I'll just take my phone, video, just record me hitting play on my drum machine, and that 30-second clip, I put it straight on Instagram, and I'll just talk about whatever the beat is, and that's it. But I get likes, I get engagement, and I get people to come back to my site from Instagram just from a video, a snippet of a new track I'm working on. And it's that simple. As long as you've got a lot of artists on your page that are following you on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, engage. It's easy to get engagement. You just have to stand out, do something different.
Not be so focused on the end goal to get it so quick of getting that sale.
Right.
You're gonna get the sales. Just
People are looking for that initial return on investment right away, and it doesn't happen that way. It literally doesn't. And that's like traditional. That's like a lot of marketers that are trying to market in 2014. Like we used to market that way back in the day. Like it used to be like commodities. It used to be just like push out a product, whoever had the cheapest item, and that was it.
Yep.
You just as long as you got spun on, you got an actual TV commercial. Times are so drastically different now. So drastic. So a lot of people are still trying to market like they were marketing 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. It's like it's not the same thing now. You got to adapt to what's going on now.
Even for producers, like honestly, the way that producers are marketing right now is the 2006 way of producing of marketing. It's come check out my beats. It's buy two get one free. Like I have ebooks from 2006 on how to sell beats, and those are the strategies that they were teaching then. It is 2014. That stuff is not working. It's not working because everybody knows that. Everybody's been doing it for the last 8 years. Like, I mean, imagine you get a computer today, and 6 months from now, it's damn near obsolete. So imagine the marketing strategy that you used 8 years ago, and trying to do that today. It just doesn't work like that anymore. So you've got to update what you're doing. You've got to get yourself around people who are marketing and who know how to market. If you keep following the reason why people say ebooks don't work, it's not that they don't work. It's that the strategies are old. That's why the person who's probably made that ebook comes up with another ebook 6 months later. They're going to keep consistently selling you products because those old strategies are no longer working. And that's why they sell you those ebooks over and over again.
I just want to kind of don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Just back to modeling. The producers that already are established and that have a following and are doing check out my 2 new beats. Like I was on Superstar O's page yesterday and he had 2 new beats up and he had like 60-something likes. It's because he fucking Superstar O. Like he has a following. He
built that following.
Yes, he built that. You do not. So you can't just go and model that. Check out my 2 new beats. That's where a lot of people are getting confused. You have to get way more clever and way more. You have to learn proper marketing in order to get that sort of engagement. So eventually you can do that. You can say, all right, check out my new beats. Like, it's not you model that and that's what will happen.
Exactly.
It's like you can't just go out and buy a new chain and become a rapper. No, you have to go to learn how to market yourself and get your music heard. The correct way.
It comes down to, and again, it comes down to people accepting, just being real with yourself and accepting the fact that either you don't know what you're doing or you're just starting out, and being willing to learn and try out new things until you find out what works for you. Because like you say, if you try and copy people who have already done it, they didn't. I think too many people think people who are seeing success have just woken up one day and all of a sudden they're having a success. There's so much stuff going on in the back end for so long, so many struggles, rejection, failures, all that stuff happens, and you only see the end product. And it's all about being real with yourself and figuring out what works for you, but being open to trying different methods until you find what works out for you, and then establishing yourself, building those relationships, getting returning customers, and then you can post stuff like that. But there's a lot of work that goes on in the back end, and I think too many people are caught up, like you say, caught up on the results, caught up on making the money, but not realizing that you've got to put work in. It doesn't just happen overnight.
Travis, you look real antsy, but I'm going to cut you off right here quick. Since we're talking about ads, because it just came to me, since we're talking about ads and we're talking about failure and rejection, not all ads, stop being a wussy, stop being scared of an ad failing and losing money, because it's going to happen. Marketers spend money just to waste money on failing ads because they learned what was wrong. They learned the wrong way to run an ad. So you need to throw that. You're going to waste money when you're doing ads, if you're doing paid ads.
And that transitions into the paid advertising aspect of it, because a lot of this stuff, a native ad doesn't have to be something paid. You can sponsor a post. Like if you wanted to get more reach, say on a Facebook post, You can obviously sponsor it. You can set up a Facebook ad. But a lot of the stuff is free. Like you know, email is not, it doesn't cost you anything. Messaging doesn't cost you anything. Native ads don't cost you anything unless you're just trying to get a bigger reach on it, right? And I'm glad that you mentioned that about like, for instance, Superstar O, because he's able to do that based on what his credibility and his reputation thus far. He can put out a post that says, you know, check out, and not necessarily follow the kind of principles that we're talking about and really being engaging. He can do that. But you'll see the other stuff, he doesn't do that every time. He's got a lot of really, he's got a lot of, like, the videos he puts up. He's engaging people using the same kind of strategies that we're talking about, right? So just be wary of what you're modeling, basically.
Exactly. You want to get into that contest?
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to also say that if you need more information on native ads and really what they are and how to really maximize your exposure and really just generate the best ads based on what you're pushing, you know, your instrumentals or your brand or whatever, get people engaged. We have training. We have training inside of the team specifically, like I'm talking about the best of the best in the industry right now for native ads, the best of the best. We have that training for you. So just wanted to say that real quick. But yeah, contests. This is another, can be free or paid, but I'll just tell you guys, running contests, again, going back to Facebook, I can use this contest that I'm running as an example right now. This is just another way to bring awareness to your brand. With the contest, you're giving stuff away for free. So you're not selling people, right? You're giving, typically with a contest, people are going to win a prize. They're going to enter a contest doing something. There's different ways to approach them. If you're trying to attract artists, you could have artists record to this instrumental, the best song wins free beat leases. You're not out any money. If you give away free beat leases, that's not costing you anything. You know, you're out of pocket. For me, I'm currently running a SoundKit contest. Giving out a digital download doesn't cost me anything. But what this does is this brings more awareness to the product. It brings more awareness to my brand. And the way that I have it structured, I'll just go ahead and show it. I mean, should I just do a share screen and just show what's going on?
Yep.
Give you a little over-the-shoulder stuff going on right here.
Bonus content.
You want to say about 18 ads written the same exact way?
I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, the thing is, it's out there. People can model it anyway. It's not like I'm trying to hide this. But you guys can see that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I've just recently released a new sound kit, and basically I'm giving this away for free. Now look how easy this particular contest. Again, there's different ways to run a contest. You could have recording artists record to your tracks. This is super effective because it's so damn easy for somebody to enter it. And what you're doing is you are incentivizing them to essentially share the contest, share your brand, share whatever product you're offering. So this is a simple share the photo contest. Okay, hey producers, how to enter? Like the Facebook fan page. So number one, I'm gaining more fans or followers on my Facebook fan page. Number two, share the contest photo. That's it. And let me know that, or leave a comment below. So the combination of all these, I just made a video the other day on EdgeRank and the importance of how EdgeRank can affect people seeing your posts and being popular on people. I'm tackling it from every angle. I'm tackling this from every angle. The liking, the commenting, the sharing. At the same time, I keep bringing more awareness to this product. I've got people in here who may not win, but I've got people who've already messaged me and say they're going to buy this kit even if they don't win it. You know, even if they don't win this. So it's like there's so many different ways. Again, this is just one example. There are so many different ways to approach a contest. This is one that I found effective, a simple share the photo contest on Facebook. So I just wanted to share that, you know, while I'm thinking about it. I've also done the same thing with my instrumental album. So if you can do the exact same kind of thing. You can do another share the photo contest, or you can, again, there's so many different ways. You guys have any suggestions on different kind of contests? Again, I mentioned like
having Trav, not to cut you off.
Go ahead, man.
For everybody who's watching this, he has like 40-something shares. When have you ever had 40 shares on anything you've posted on Facebook? Like, I've never had 40 shares of anything, and I'm about to steal this idea today.
So hard.
Like, I've had lots of likes, and I've had comments. I've never had more than 6 shares on anything I've ever posted, honestly. So to say that works, I see that works. So
Yeah,
and like I said, let me tell you, it's like this. Like, I learn stuff every day. Like, what you guys don't see behind the scenes in these hangouts, like before we get on, is we talk a lot. I mean, just throughout the week, and I learn something every day. But there's nothing like proof. The proof is right there that he has 40 shares, and he told you exactly how he did it. It's literally like as simple as he just explained it. It works. That's social proof, like like what?
Yeah, these are really effective. And again, this isn't the only way. The reason why it is so effective is because it's so easy. Like it literally is 2 clicks and they've entered the contest. It's like everybody wants to win something. If it takes 2 mouse clicks, it's a no-brainer at that point, right? So there's more. I've seen a lot of more elaborate contests where if you're going to give like bigger prizes, if you're giving away a digital download, that doesn't cost you anything. But you could also go into contests where you're giving away gear, you're giving away headphones, different things like that. And that, I think that comes when you have a bigger budget, when you've got a bigger following, those bigger contests come. But if you're on a budget, this is, I didn't sponsor this. Actually, no, I didn't sponsor this post at all. This is all organic shares and comments. Now, some of this came from my list because I do have a list built, so that kind of stimulated some of it, but it didn't cost me anything.
That's crazy. 40 shares. Yeah, that's getting done today. And the other thing is like he said, he did that for his sound kits. Like, if you had a beat tape and you did that same exact strategy and you only gave away 1 beat tape for free, but you got 40 people, you got 40 new likes for your page. You got shares, you got comments, and the one person who won is like, okay, I won, but the other people who entered, they're going to go check out that tape just because they want to know what's on there. And you're going to catch sales just from that in general. It may not be 40 sales, but if you catch 2 sales and it's a $50 beat tape, you made $100. Well, if you're selling your leases for $20, that's 5 lease sales, and you did that for free. I mean, that strategy right there.
Powerful.
It worked. It's very effective. It took me.
We just seen it worked.
It does, and it was an evolution to really get. I've used kind of the same template for the past couple contests. It went through an evolution. Like, it started modeling from a successful campaign on Facebook, that then flip it to my niche, and then it went through a couple different revisions, and it's gone through an evolution to get to where it is now. But that's what it takes sometimes. It seems like what's working, what's really working.
Yep.
Okay, maybe I'll just try something like this, and then thinking outside the box on top of that, like taking what you're learning and then even flipping it even further and taking it a little different direction. Do some split testing, see what works. This works.
Yep. And when you find out what works, scale up.
Exactly. And that's when you can do the sponsor. You try it free. If it works on the free level, then you can promote it, sponsor it. It's just going to get you a bigger reach. It's scaling up, exactly the same what you just said.
I mean, and at the end of the day, I mean, if you think about it, he gives that 1 free kit away, and he runs this campaign again somewhere down the line as a sponsored post. Okay, well, maybe he's giving away 2 kits, but he's gotten however many sales from running that contest.
Exactly, and even if you take the sales out of it, it's in the impressions. Just look, like, even if nobody bought the kit, the impressions is really going to help you if nothing else. So just getting people seeing that, and maybe you run a contest 6 months later, and maybe you don't get sales the second time, but people are seeing you populate it again. So it may not come right away, but as far as getting engagement, these kind of posts are very engaging. They're very easy for people to take part in.
The fact that that post gets so much engagement, the next time T Customs posts something, his edge rank is going up. More people are going to see his post simply because that post is helping him with his edge rank with Facebook. Like,
and
that's crazy.
Specifically with these people who are engaging in this, it's helping me edge rank the edge. You know, with the particular relationships I have with these particular people. So it works on many scales. And again, guys, I'm not paying. This didn't cost me anything to do this. This was absolutely free.
It's crazy, man. That was the golden nugget right there.
Yeah.
It's even more crazy. It's even more crazy because if you have a fan page and they say your Facebook reach is only between 5 and 12% with just a regular post. So that's why edge ranking and doing this contest is so important, and having engaging posts like that.
Exactly. That's dope, man.
The fact that he has 40 shares, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, it'll go up. This contest goes on through the weekend. I mean, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but it's been up for about a little over 36 hours now. So I'm going to go on through Sunday, another day and a half. So it'll go up. It will increase. It's got about a 1,400 people reach. Again, if I had sponsored it,
it's going to go up.
Did you hear that? All nonchalant. It's
I know.
6 hours.
Oh, it's got 1,400. It's like, all right, man. Masha's got like 2.
Like Brian said, some of us haven't even had 6 shares on a post in our whole span. Like,
I'm talking about since I've been on Facebook.
Exactly. That was dope, but it only has 6 shares for the whole life of it, and it can be up for 3 months. He got 40 shares in 36 hours. Take notes.
Crazy.
I am. You see.
I got my notebook.
You see it. Not playing with that one. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. So that contest was crazy. I guess we want to transition to. I mean, well, we talked about scaling up, so I mean, obviously, we want to touch on paid advertising at some point, and getting into that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to go? Was there anything else we wanted to cover as far as free? Again, all this stuff really applies to native ads, applies to everywhere. So model what people are doing on Twitter. I don't use all of the social networks as heavy as I do Facebook, and that's why we're kind of focused on it, because it's one of the big ones. But this applies to Pinterest. Again, the training that we have, it covers everywhere. It covers Pinterest, it covers Twitter, Instagram, Vine, Facebook. It covers all of them.
I mean, like, they're pretty much all the same. Any strategy you can use here, you can use across the board. You know what I mean? So if you're an Instagram person, apply it to Instagram, because that's your thing. You know what I mean? What I see with a lot of people is we spread ourselves out over everything, and it's cool to be everywhere, but you need to really focus in on, if you like Instagram and Instagram works for you, master Instagram. You know what I mean?
You're not going to be able to manage everything, especially if you're trying to come up. That's why people hire managers eventually, because their social medias get so crazy. So focus in on one and master that. There's enough people on all them social medias that you won't run out of potential fans.
Yeah. And if you're like I said, and if you build up that following and you're prominent on that platform, it's only going to help you. It's only going to help you. So
I do want to say, just before we get into paid, is that you can only get so far with free. You're going to have to venture out and lose money in order to learn how to do it correctly. So don't get discouraged if you run like 5 or 6 ads and it's not working effectively. That means you just have to go back, learn how to do it, and make it more efficient.
Yeah, and I'll just add one last thing as well. There is only so far you can go with free, and in my opinion, I'd say free works if you've got tons of time, but paid is a godsend if you don't have lots of time. It speeds up the process in terms of whether it's building your email list, promoting something. it just speeds up the process. So just decide whether you're the kind of person that has lots of time on their hands, then paid advertising is or you don't have a budget, then paid advertising will probably be for you. But if you want to see quicker results, or you just want to speed up the process, then paid advertising is definitely the way forward. So it's a bit of a trade-off, time for money.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So when it comes to paid advertising, I know we all do ads kind of across the board. Most of us are doing Facebook ads right now because the clicks are cheap and it's so targeted. I've done Google ads. Right now, my Facebook ads I'm getting for between 3 cents and 5 cents a click, which is good. I've had some lower than that. Like I said, it's the targeting with Facebook that just makes it's just unparalleled. To be honest with you.
It really is. It really is, because you can go so specific. Like you could. It's very very powerful advertising on Facebook, just because you can get such a targeted audience with it. I've done Google ads and Bing ads in the past, and I actually still have some. I think I have a couple campaigns running now. But it goes back to what I mentioned before about this banner blindness, right? Because unless you have a huge budget and you're actually putting ads at the very top, when you do a Google search, you'll notice that the first couple posts are usually sponsored ads. But primarily, most of the ads on Google, for instance, are on the right-hand side. And because, going back to, people become jaded to seeing these things over and over again, and so people don't even look at the right-hand side a lot of times.
Yep.
And sometimes, first off, you're not as targeted on search engine ads as you can on Facebook, and at the same time, a lot of people are going to be clicking, and if they are, you're probably going to have to be like at the very top, and that's obviously going to cost you a lot more to have that top spot. You know, the more it's based on a bidding, how much you bid per click, and depending on what keywords you're targeting, it could be really expensive. So that's why Facebook, because it's cheap and it's super targeted.
Like, when I first joined the movement, I was like, you can do all this stuff with Facebook? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Like, Facebook is stupid powerful, and it's cheap. Like you said, I haven't even used Google Ads or whatever, but I'm getting 8 cents a like on my Facebook page. I'm getting like 200 likes a week, and you can be one of those people. You can learn how to do it right and have a targeted audience and have potential fans and everything. Or you can, like, I'm talking specifically about Facebook likes, and I'm running ads on Facebook likes. You can go out and buy likes that are $27 for 250 likes, or you can learn how to do it correctly and have an actual fan base and potential fans and potential clientele, and you can get it for way cheaper.
And to put this in perspective, like, I'm doing, I can do the math for you. But like, I mean, at the end of the, I'm only spending $2 a day on Facebook. Okay, my Facebook ad is $2 a day. I'm spending $60 a month, and I'm getting clicks for 3 cents and 5 cents. Like,
Super targeted. Targeted,
and you know, I know in GTS movement we have, you know, modules on, you know, on ads and all that, and we teach how to, you know, custom audiences and stuff like that, because I use custom audiences. That's a whole nother topic that we can get into on another dime, but I'm specifically targeting a certain person. So when my ad shows up, if it's for free beats or if it's for something that has to do with getting artists, it's only showing up in front of those 30,000 artists that I have targeted specifically. So instead of me having my ad posted on everybody's page, it's only going to rappers. Well, the chances of them clicking that link, or me getting that like, or them opting into my email list to get whatever free product I'm giving away is so much greater because it's targeted. So it's just so targeted, and that's
Yeah.
that's the things that we we share with our team because we want success. I mean, like literally, that's why we give these. The reason why we do these hangouts is for one reason only: is for people to have success. And like
Definitely.
these are the questions that people ask, and these are the reasons why we do these hangouts.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like when I started with AdWords first. To be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. But it's all about trial and error. Now I'm doing Facebook again. Did some ads, didn't really get the results I wanted. But by doing trial and error, studying on your marketing, modeling successes that other people are having, you get to a point where you have that breakthrough for yourself, and you figure out what works for you, and then it's just about scaling it up. Like for example, I'm running a Facebook ad at the moment, just specifically targeted to artists, and my Facebook ad it's a bit higher. I'm getting 10 cents per like, but it's converting at 80%. So every 10 people that see that ad, 8 people are clicking on like on my Facebook page. That's how targeted it is. Now, if it wasn't that targeted, tons of people would see it and not that many people would click like. But obviously, what I've put in my ad appeals to the audience that it's targeted at. And that didn't happen straight away. I've done tons of ads. I've spent hundreds of dollars on ads just figuring out what works for me. But I finally have an ad that I'm running at $2 a day, and I can just leave it running every single day, and it's getting me Facebook likes. So I don't even have to worry about getting more likes on my Facebook page because I'm getting super targeted likes to my Facebook page every day now, thanks to Facebook advertising. So that's now on autopilot, and again, it frees me up to focus on other stuff in my music business rather than concentrating on 3 ways of trying to get Facebook likes. So it's just important to remember that it's all about trial and error and not giving up because you fail a couple of times or a few times. You will eventually succeed as long as you learn from your mistakes and you don't give up.
And
And
that's the key point, is if you learn from them. But if you keep doing the same thing and it's not getting a result, then you can't expect that to change. That's what I see a lot of people doing is they just think that eventually posting this same kind of post, somebody's eventually gonna. It's like the same thing. Nobody's engaging in it. Nobody's engaging in it. It comes across salesy. It comes across. It's the same thing. It's background noise. You got to cut through the clutter.
and the other thing is like Chris just said he's getting 8 out of 10 people are liking his page. Okay, so on his Facebook fan page, it's so targeted. He's gonna get more engagement when he posts on his page. We've said this from the beginning. Run everything from your fan page. All your links should come from your fan page. Now, if most of us, when we first get on Facebook, we get our fan page. We tag everybody. Come like my page. It's not targeted at all. So when you post something and you don't get engagement, it messes up your edge rank. Because you have a page full of people. You may have 1,000 likes, but only 200 people are actually people who care about what you're doing. That's why like for like campaigns aren't good. Because people aren't liking your page because they like what you're doing. They're liking it because you like their page. They don't have a reason to be engaged with what you're doing, and that's going to hurt you in the long run. Paying for likes is going to. If you paid for likes before, shut your page down and just start over. Like if you pay for 1,000 likes, shut your page down and start over because your edge rank is shot. You got 1,000 people who don't care anything about what you're posting. So when you post something, you don't get likes, you don't get shares, you don't get any type of engagement because those people didn't like what you were putting up in the first place. Like that's why, if you're gonna do it the right way. You know what I mean? Do it organically or do it with highly targeted paid ads, because that way you know these people want to see what you're putting in front of them. If you got a page full of artists and you post beats, guess what? They want to see that. They want to see what you're giving them.
And the reason why we're saying this, and the reason why we're saying spend money to learn these courses, spend money to learn the wrong ways to do it, because it works. There's people out there marketing, making 6-7 figures every year who are doing this, and it's working for them. So if you're doing the same thing like Travis said, hoping one day it's going to work. It's not going to work, and you're going to be sitting there because you didn't want to go and learn and spend the money and learn how to do it. Because people are out there making it happen, and it's working for them. You just have to learn the ways of doing it instead of hoping one day. Isn't the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, hoping for different results?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Is Albert Einstein saying that?
There's so many, like I said, there's so many things that I didn't know. You know what I mean? And that I've learned from being with GTS. Period. Like there are certain things I would have never tried, or I don't want anybody to watch this and think that we just know everything. I've learned so much from people who aren't on this panel that are in GTS have told me things that I didn't know, and I've learned from. And it's like, that's what it's about. It's about you learning something and you seeing that it works, and then I share it with the group, or they learn something, they share it with me. That's what it's about. I mean, Travis just shared something that we're all already plotting on how we're going to take that strategy for his native post or his contest and use it in our own way. Like, that's what it's about. That's how you grow. That's how you make more money, because it's a business. You're watching this because you want to make money. And there's no that's the number one reason anybody's watching this, is because they want to learn how to make money selling beats, and that's what we're trying to show. And at the same time, we're learning from each other during this whole process, and that's what it's about. It's about you learning something, you teaching it to other people, and that's what we do.
If you refuse, I want to say one more last thing. You know, if you refuse to adapt to what's really going on in the current times, you get left behind. If you refuse to adapt to the current ways to market and anything for that matter, if you ever stop educating yourself and you're ignorance is bliss kind of thing, you just refuse to learn and really adapt to what's going on, you get left behind. You get left behind. I mean, don't get left behind.
It's just like evolution of human beings. Like, if we didn't learn how to survive in different conditions and against different predators and stuff like that, we wouldn't be here. It's just that's just in simple terms. So it applies with anything in life. You need to continue to grow, because things are always changing. What works now is not necessarily going to work next year. Something new might come out. You just never know what's going to happen, but you need to be up to date, up to speed, and keep up with the times.
What did you say earlier about marketers ruining everything? Like, marketers kill everything. Like, and that's what we see. Like, it's crazy because it's like actually before the hangout, Travis had said marketers kill everything, and it's if 5 years ago somebody said give away this or give away that, give away a free ebook to get leads, everybody gave away a free ebook. It got to the point that no one cared about free ebooks anymore because everybody was giving them away. And that's the whole thing. Like, you need to stand out. You need to do something different in order to create your brand, to build your brand. And that's what we're trying to show you, is that if you take little pieces of everything and use your own creativity, you'll start something new. No one can do you better than you. You can model all day, and guess what? You're never going to model it exactly the same way that person who you're watching it came from. So no matter how hard you copy, you're going to still have to put your own twist onto it in order for it to work for you. I mean, it's as simple as, like, we do this messaging thing. We had a video on messaging, and we put the copy up there, like what we write. If everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's got the same people they're targeting, guess what? The message doesn't work anymore. Everybody's going to keep sending the same message out, and that's what it's about. You have to act. You have to be genuine. You have to be yourself and put yourself into that marketing in order for it to work.
Preach.
Thank you. Amen. That's what the Leadership Council was about, man. I think we just lost somebody.
We just got to tell it how it is. That's it.
I mean, that's what it's about, man. Like I said, like, the reason why we get a lot of questions. I know, like, this is kind of off topic. I get questions all the time, like, why do you guys give out so many tips? Why? And it's like, the only reason we do this is because we want other producers to have success. I mean, not. That's it. That's the only reason. We see so many people struggling. You get to a point where it's like you just want to help. You just want to help people, and that's what we're doing it for. Just trying to help you guys get over that, get out of that job.
There's too
It's
many
enough
people
for everybody.
who find a strategy or something. Some people have the mentality is like, why would you want to share the wealth? But it's like when you understand the principle of abundance, that there's enough for everybody, and you really understand that, then you don't have like these certain secrets that you safeguard, and it's like there might be certain maybe very minute things that you don't share, but for the most part, like general information that you learn, why would you be afraid to share it if it can help somebody else? You were in that situation at one point. You had to learn it at some point. So wouldn't it have been nice if you didn't have to go off with a struggle and trying to, you could just pass that information along? So I think it goes to the concept of abundance. When you understand there's enough for everybody, it changes your mentality, man. Like just share what you know. That's what we're here for, to help you with our experiences. Like I said, we're all coming from slightly different backgrounds. I have certain things working for me that I emphasize more on, and so that's why I bring a certain element to the webinars and hangouts. And Chaz has a certain perspective on things, and Brian and everybody brings, and that's kind of what these masterminds, these public hangouts are all about.
The thing is, like you said, the abundance. We're on Facebook right now. Not to say that we can't go anywhere else, but just on Facebook, how many artists are on there, Brian?
So 11 million.
11 million? Not all of them are just gonna buy it. Some of them might not like Brian's beats. Some of them might not like Travis's beats.
Like my beats.
Some of them might not like all of my beats. They might not like my style, but they might like, if they don't like my style, they might like Brian's style. They might like Travis's style. There's abundance. And this is just on Facebook. Like how much people aren't even on Facebook? How much people are just on Twitter? How much people are just on Instagram? How much people are just on YouTube? Like, there's abundance of people. So this is why we're showing you this. Because
the thing is, like,
we're not worried.
With like producers or with anything, there's 11 million the people that say I'm a hip hop artist. Now there's more than 11 million.
Yeah.
Right. But there's the people who say I am a hip hop artist. This is my job. I work at being a hip hop artist. That's fine. 11 million people. There's 300,000 producers on Facebook. All right. Not every producer is doing hip hop. So it's even less than what it is. There's dubstep. There's just music producers in general for different genres of music. So the number for us to even get on, I could never do a beat for every artist. None of us can. But when there's only 300,000 people saying that I'm a producer, and we know all of them aren't hip hop producers, guess what? There's enough for all of us.
Mm.
There's enough for the guy selling his beats for cheap and the guy selling his beats for $100 at least. So there's no competition here at all.
Another reason why we do this is, like you said, you feel the need to help. It's just so sad to seeing them model the wrong things. It's like, when does it stop?
That's what it is.
You got to be careful about who you're modeling. Definitely, just.
I mean, like I said, if you're watching this, follow our posts. See what we're doing. I mean, like, if you want to see people who are having success, see what we're doing.
Mm.
If you want to learn what we're doing, you already know what you need to do then.
Mm. And I don't know if anyone mentioned this. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm not sure if anyone mentioned this. I just something happened to my connection, but I'm back in. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the GTS movement, you're surrounding yourself. Again, there's no competition, but you're surrounding yourself with people who are at different stages, and you get to model yourself after people who are seeing success, do things by actually getting results. And it just comes down to, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong.
I think you got frozen.
Is he gone?
What he was going to say is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah. There's no way to grow. There's no way to grow. There's no way for you to grow. The people around you are limiting you. You have to be. I mean, ideally, you want to be the dumbest person in the room, and you're just learning. There's only potential for you to grow there. Or ideally, you get in a position where you can obviously contribute too, and then also be able to learn from people above you. But
like the whole concept of that, like, you know, not being the smartest person, or if you're the smartest person in the room, is as producers. I mean, I know all of us have some crew of artists at some point in time in our lives, and they always look to us for the answer. You don't have the answer, it's extremely frustrating. It puts a lot of pressure on you to be that guy. Like, because you gotta, they just think that you're supposed to know everything, and if you don't have anybody to turn to, it just you get stuck. When it's a mastermind and you got, well, we got what, like 25 people in there. We got 25 people to bounce ideas off of. You know what I mean? And that's what helps. And somebody may ask a question that we never even thought of, which leads to us figuring out the answer, going to dig for that information, which teaches us all to grow. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. That's what GTS movement is about. The name is grinding towards success, because that's exactly what we're doing. That's what GTS stands for. It's grinding towards success, and that's what we're about.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my connection, but
We figured, we finished the thought for you. We got you.
thanks.
Any last words? About to wrap it up?
Yeah, we about to wrap it up. You guys got anything to say?
I'm good.
I just want to say, hopefully you took notes on what's being what we've talked about here. Ways that you can add things that work. Even if you're on a budget, you don't have to necessarily scale it up right away. There are a lot of free ways in which you can tell your story, get your point across without being salesy and pitching people, but really just getting that engagement. And just take action, guys. Just take what you're learning here, take notes on it, and start applying it. And eventually you're going to see results. I
mean, for me, it's just basically just use the strategies that we give you, and everything that we're teaching on these webinars, and just take action and get to that success. That's all it is. It's just taking notes and taking action. Take massive action. Don't do it half-ass. Go hard. Just go hard.
If you pay someone to do it half-ass,
Exactly.
it's your business, it's your life. So take
Yeah.
that action in capital letters, bold letters, underlined, italicized, everything.
And I was gonna say something, but I kind of, yeah. So if everything you've done up to this, to today, hasn't got you any results, or has got you up to where you're at and you're not happy with it, then you know what you need to do. You need to start doing different. You need to start doing things differently. You need to have an open mind, and rather than having the big ego and saying, "What are they talking about? That doesn't work." You need to just have an open mind, try it for yourself, see what kind of results you get, and you never know what's going to happen, because sometimes it's just something little you need to tweak. But if you keep doing what you're doing, you're just going to get the same results. So just take action, use what we've gone through today, and make things different from this day forward.
And I just want to add on to that, if you're in a position where you need more over-the-shoulder training, we're talking about it here, but if you need step-by-step, over-the-shoulder stuff, that's what we offer inside of the team. So as far as messaging, as far as email, as far as the native ads, that's all part of what we offer. So,
Like I said, if you got any value from this hangout, click the link below. Join the GTS movement, and let's get you on the inside and show you exactly what it is, because that's what it's about. It's about showing you. A lot of people just need to step by step. You know what I mean? Not too many people can learn from a book. You go to a job, they don't give you a book and say, "Here, learn how to do this." They sit you down with somebody and they say, "Hey, look, show him how to do this." And that's what we are. We want to get you in and show you how to do this.
and it's up to you to just take it and do it.
That's it.
So
That's about it, man. Like I said, click that link below, get in with GTS, and start having some success. It's your boy V Kush Beats. Peace.
Travis with T Customs Productions, guys. Click the link below, lock arms, and take massive action. I'll see you in the next hangout, and I'll see you on the inside.
It's your boy KC with KC-Beats.com. I'm going to reiterate massive action. All right, come on.
It's your boy Chrissy L from Mutual Sounds. Look, just click the link, get in our community, start taking action, and start seeing different results. Peace.
All right, y'all.